welcome to our Taiwan Global Venture Forum Global Startup Edition today. So thank you so much for your coming on this such a lovely sunny day in Taiwan. Today is so sunny. So for today, first of all, I want to thank you, our sponsors, the CIB Capital Innovation Accelerator, who is the venue sponsor here, okay, and also our sponsor, 谷歌会生命科学中心, and also Katie's 90s community from the UK to support us to make this forum happen. My past several years, I studied this, and I understand for us, it's not that easy to go global, especially for early stage companies who don't have resources, who don't have money, who don't have network. So it's very hard. Last year, we closed together with the IB Innovation Accelerator, this Taiwan Global Venture Forum. That was a great success, and thank you for some of the friends who also been here last year. And this year, we will continue this to launch a series of different forums, okay? Like this one, you can see is a founder center focused event. We want to discuss what's the DNA of a successful global startups. So that's the topic.
Please meet our next speaker. So our next speaker comes from a high-pressure boiler rooms of Bear Stearns to manage hedge funds at Susquehanna and a $110 million portfolio at PG Ventures. Brian has seen it all, with the degrees from NYU, Stearns, and Columbia. He spent his 30 years bridging the gap between these high-speed hedge funds and long-term venture capital. Please, let's welcome Mr. Brian Ye.
My name is Brian Ye. I am the managing partner of Matchpoint Venture Partners, and I'm a US-based venture firm. We are based in San Francisco and Miami, and I guess I'm here to talk about what are the hot things that are happening in Silicon Valley and the opportunities that we see there and beyond. So, my quick background is, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've invested across many cycles, markets, geographies, sectors, and themes. And most recently, I was the Chief Investment Officer of DG Ventures, which is the corporate venture arm for Digital Garage, a big Japanese publicly traded internet conglomerate. But I have to say that I actually got my start in VC here in Taipei, working at H&Q Taiwan. And, I started in the summer of 1995, so it was quite a long time ago. Obviously, what's been on top of everybody's mind, all 24/7, nonstop for the last 3 years since the big breakthrough of the GPTs in 22 is AI. Obviously, that's the dominant narrative. This is a theme that has had hyper-scale deployment of capital. I've never seen anything like this. I've been doing this for 30 years, but just since 2023, there's been $700 billion invested globally in AI, which is just mind-boggling when you think about that level of scale. So where we see opportunities outside of the obvious is, I think in more mission-critical AI workflows, like we own verticals, high-friction areas that are underserved. Again, going back to the hardware side of things, debottlenecking a lot of the infrastructure around compute, networking, power. And then for us, always looking at capital efficiency, meaning looking at companies that have shown the ability to generate early revenues to customers and not set themselves up for perpetual fundraising. As I've said, valuation and structure, not just TAM, those things are important to us. And then again, non-consensus areas, right, where differentiation matters. And my point is not to be anti-AI, because obviously that is driving up a lot of that, but the point is to be anti-obvious.
To begin with, I would like to ask everyone a question which you can answer me in your head. Should your startup go global? Well, I know a lot of you are running venture capital instead of running a startup. And I guess when you hear this question, the first answer to most people at least, since we are here already today, is yes, we should go global. Or at least this is what we should seriously figure out. The question, however, I would like to point out is, maybe that's not the perfect question to ask. Maybe the right question to ask is if your company is ready to be a global winner. So it sounds like the same question to us, whether we should go global or whether we are ready to go global. But this is a matter of life or death when you go down the road. My name is Jeff, as introduced. I'm co-founder and general partner of Transcend Capital Partners. We are a growth stage, Asia-focused tech investor.
I bet some of you will study traffic on your way here today. And if you want your car to fly in the sky, and that will be very good, and also can save you a lot of time. So our next speaker not only think about it, but they actually did it. At the age when we are just graduated from college, find the first job, he's already founding his own company to make his dream come true. That's joining me and welcoming the man who is making the science fiction in reality, Katie.
I am Katie. I am the co-founder and chief operations at Taiwan Industries, and I am also the president of the UK Taiwanese Chamber of Commerce junior chapter. As mentioned earlier, I started quite early. Since college, I've been building vehicles with my friends, and so we've been figuring out what's going to be the next step for transportation, cars. For us, it was become a little bit boring at the time, and we also had certain technologies that are allowing the new industries to actually open up very quickly. So we started the company officially in 2019 in London, and very quickly we started to keep iterating our products, keep testing new prototypes across multiple regions in Dubai, UK, Taiwan, and other countries as well. And so one thing, I mean, when we're working on projects, we always got to make the best use of the brand. That's something that we think as a startup, like you know, saying you're short on resources, short on connection. You always got to find the right opportunities to get exposed to the right people globally. And the things that we're working on is actually rather easy to attract people's attention. So we make use of that and give really good exposure to get access to the right people. And also working with the right team is super important. I mean, also when we're hiring, you know, it's also quite interesting. Like even when we're sourcing people in Taiwan, you know, we always hire people from anywhere around the world. We get them here, and we get them to the right places to work with us.
So I'm going to talk about some recent trends in DeepTech space. So there's actually a lot of overlap with what Brian just said. So that's why they're called trends. Right? And so, but I'm talking mostly in the US, and then how, there's one thing that I'll cover is how Taiwan can fit into all of this. All right, so for defense, there's actually a very big Taiwan angle here. Many of these companies are eager to be in Taiwan. In fact, a lot of them are already in Taiwan. So Android is in Taiwan, Xiaomi is in Taiwan, Saronics in Taiwan. There are many other defense companies that are already setting up shop in Taiwan. And why are they here, right? First of all, well, China. China is a big reason. I think there's no secret that US government is preparing war with China, and they're acquiring all these different capabilities. So a lot of these capabilities are designed specifically for Taiwan Strait, and that's why they're here. Second, there's increased defense budget across the globe, especially in Taiwan. And also the Taiwanese government is actually trying to incorporate a lot of foreign technologies in our military as well. So they're also here to seek opportunities. And then also, as like I mentioned, the procurement process is different, so they need supply chain help. And this is where Taiwan can play a major role.
So going back to our key topic for today, because we want to explore what's the DNA of global startups. Okay. So I want to ask maybe first from Brian, okay? Brian is from Silicon Valley, okay? And so what do you think about, like, for us, okay, perhaps for Silicon Valley investors, we are outsider there, okay? So what would be your suggestions to, like, Taiwanese startups who want to enter the Silicon Valley?
I would say, so I would answer that in two ways. I think there's for Taiwanese to enter into Silicon Valley, I think there's a couple of things that Taiwanese are good at, and I think there's areas that we need to work on. But to succeed in Silicon Valley, I think you have to have like a global first mindset, okay? And that's not just understanding your market, but understanding all the foreign markets that you can enter into. And that means local consumer behavior, local regulatory regimes, and the local competitive landscape. And understanding that and evolving your product to meet that market.
And based on Brian's insights. Okay, I also want to ask another speaker, Nan. Okay, because Nan, Taiwan Tech also very globally, invested. Like they are from Taiwan, but also have a dedicated team like in the US. And I know Nan also travel to the US very often. So I want to ask Nan, like, what do you think about the global, like for Taiwan? Okay, if you want to enter there, what's your suggestion for us? That could be for both startups and also like investors from Taiwan.
Okay, so for startups, I think I hear a lot of times startups come to me and say, all right, they want to start in Taiwan, there's some sort of proving ground. Once they succeed in Taiwan, then they're going to move to the US. I usually tell them just go to US right away because you can't the opportunity is only so long, right? The window is only so long, so we just go, right? But then the next question then is, well, they don't know the market, right? So usually, I think some people who have better success tend to be people who spend a lot of time before even they start a company, really, just to have your target market, go there, and then just spend a lot of time on studying the market, understand who the stakeholders are, and then how you plan on penetrating the market, and then just when you spend enough time and get a sense of it, and then you start your company, which will save you a lot of time and also a lot of resources. So I would say always start with the market you want to go in right away instead of doing like this two-step process, because the time is not your friend, so you have to be quick. That's usually I think a lot of problem I get. So this is something that I suggest a lot of startups do.
We will have the networking session for like 30 minutes until 9 o'clock. So actually we already have drinks outside for everybody, like cocktail, food, everything, okay? So that will be the session towards the end and we can enjoy the networking for Friday evening. Okay, thank you guys.